strike me down, I shall become more powerful than you could possibly imagine.
Hey there, Splinterlands fans, welcome back to the channel. It's time to set aside some of the drama, some of the economy talk, and let's get back to some gameplay videos here. Today, I'm going to focus on one of my secret weapons, one of my favorite characters here that I think is very underappreciated, and that is Harvester. Harvester in the Earth element. Let's go take a look at what our Harvester looks like here. For those of you who may have never seen him or haven't really seen him a lot, it's a common Earth reward card here. And it's actually, I'm going to show battles that are at the Diamond League level, just because that's where I play a lot. That's where I see a lot of these battles and can take the footage from. A lot of them are actually not, most of them are not actually my battles, but we're still going to show them off here. You guys have seen me use it on stream a few times. But it is actually useful at all levels. So here it is, max out of bronze, 3 attack for only 5 mana, with a decent amount of health here, 8 health, not bad at all. But where I really like it here is when we get this oppress. So there are only 4 melee cards that have oppress. Oppress deals double damage when attacking an enemy that has no attacks. And we see a decent amount of those out there. We see a decent amount up at the front line. Cards like our Pelacor Conjurer in life. Cards like our Failed Summoner. Cards like Almo. Cards like Riftwing. Bakjira is another one. Man, how many of you have struggled against a Bakjira team with that massive tank up front? All that health, Void, tough to get through. Cards like Harvester can deal double damage. He actually has the highest amount of base damage for an oppressed card. And then at gold level, at level 8 for a common, gets Enrage. And then when you pair that Enrage plus that oppress, we can deal tons of damage to cards that do not have any attack. And we're doing a decent amount of damage anyways, right? Here at max level, when it gets enraged, it will have 6 attack, which is fairly solid, right? 6 attack for 5 mana. So it's no slouch even if you don't go up against a card that has no attack. But if you do, if you go up against that Bakjira, with the 6 attack, you now deal 12 damage to Bakjira. Can be a very nice card. And oh, by the way, if some of you new players who maybe are not as familiar with the Untamed reward series, this is a Untamed reward card, you might be thinking, wow, this card looks kind of familiar. Like, I feel like I know these stats. I just can't put my finger on it. Looks actually quite similar to this card over here, Lycan Beast. The only difference when we compare max level stats, Lycan Beast has knockout, where Harvester has oppress. This is why I really don't like Lycan Beast, because in situations where I want to play the Harvester, I would almost always rather have oppress over knockout. So very similar cards, but I like Harvester much better. And this is a fairly cheap card. We can go over to say, although it spiked up quite a bit right before I made this video. And I don't know if it's because of the new Earth Summoner that was announced, which kind of benefits all tanks a little bit. Gives Void, can make any of the tanks a little bit better. I don't feel like it's necessarily specific to Harvester. Or is it because I mentioned 2 days ago that I was working on a Harvester video in the Splinterlands Discord? I don't know what it is, but the price did jump up a little bit. But still, for a max copy, it's $40. $40 for a max Untamed era card is fairly cheap. So this guy, I feel like, is still very underrated. Let's go take a look at him in battle. And one of the situations where I like to use Harvester the most is in Mylor matches. So let's we'll go and come over and just kind of let this play here as we get into things. But yeah, I love the here. Let's let myself just a little down. Live editing during the video, nice. If you guys have watched my streams, you know in these Mylor matches, a lot of times I'm always deciding, okay, like Mylor is so good in so many different situations. As we see that big damage coming up there, 12 damage against Almo. And I'm always deciding, do I want to run a Mylor team? Do I want to try and counter a Mylor team? And I can kind of do both with the Harvester. You can run him on a Mylor team, get all that Thorns damage, and then be able to counter a Mylor team. And you don't have to have Mylor to counter Mylor, by the way. On the bottom, this imposter here, used Mywar, but there were no melee cards on the other side. Mywar did not help out whatsoever. Let's go look at another one here, and it's gonna be the same thing. There's no melee cards on the bottom, so Mywar is not contributing anything as a summoner, but it just kind of allows you to counter so many different things. You can run your own Mywar team, and if they go with their own, it just works so well because, yeah, you get a little bit of Thorns damage back, but that's okay because all that does is enrage the Harvester, so he can just go out and deal more damage. This one was a snipe one, so you're not going to see a lot of attack up front. That's where I like to put a lot of high damage cards. That Harvester, 6 damage. It can, even if you don't have the Oppress, 6 damage for 5 mana is just a good ratio there, a very, very good ratio. And we've got some healing, we've got some repair, even to try and help kind of keep it alive a little bit as well. So he can just deal a lot of damage, and he's not a terrible tank. So let's go on to one more, because this I wanted to show this one as well, because in Wild, what's another counter that we see to Mywar? When we get in these Earth teams where Mywar can be very good, a counter to a Mywar team could be a Llama Cube team, because a lot of times these Mywar teams just don't have a lot of damage, so the Cube can basically just win in fatigue, getting all of that health and everything. And when you come up here with Harvester that can deal that 12 damage at the end to the Cube, it can counter one of those other Mywar counters. So there's just so many options that it actually works against. And you don't have to go up against these Earth teams. There can be other teams as well, like we mentioned, against Bakjira, against Riftwing, so many others. I'll show some others here later that are not just these Earth battles. But I did want to show these because this is probably the primary time that I use Harvester is when I feel like we're going to get these Mywar teams or these Mywar counter teams, and it can work very well. Not unbeatable by any means, but it can work very, very well. By the way, while we're waiting for this damage to be done to the Cube, although you guys can probably see it already, random trivia fact: did you know the Harvester is not actually a monster? I mean, it's a monster card, but the character itself is actually a machine. It is basically a robot created to look like a monster. It was created by a goblin with a very cool name, Protax Funklyborg. Protax Funklyborg. Isn't that an awesome name? Protax Funklyborg. Protax Funklyborg. Can we get After Sound in here, do a remix? I can't sing. Doesn't work for me. I'm sorry, guys. All right. I wanted to show this battle, though. This was another one I found here, just to show that this can be okay, I said I like to run it with a Mywar team. Maybe when I'm expecting another Mywar team or a sneak team or something like that. But it's not, you don't necessarily have to sell out against this. This is a fairly common Kraken sustain team that is a very, very good team. But the Harvester is tank. I mean, he's got the support of some repairs, some heals, kind of like the Kraken does. But he goes head to head against the Kraken. Both of these cards have 2 heals, and they have a repair behind them. And yeah, he's got the Harvester as the aid of Mywar. That certainly helps. The Amplify, that certainly helps. But he goes head to head here against the Kraken and comes out on top. So can work very, very well. And against a variety of teams, and you don't have to necessarily sell out against the counter. By the way, there's some more 12 damage, unfortunately up against some armor there, but was still doing just some nice damage. This is going to be a very slow battle here, so as we wait for the magic damage to slowly eat away there, get that affliction to maybe block some of the heals. Yeah, it's a fatigue battle eventually. So we're gonna go ahead and move on. I don't have any more tidbits of trivia to share with you during this long video, but the point is this Harvester team did actually win, taking out that Kraken. I thought that was pretty cool. Let's look at another one. I mean, I couldn't not show you a battle against Bakjira, right? Going head to head against Bakjira. This is a very common team that we see all the time. This Bakjira sneak opportunity type team. Bakjira is just such a good tank. You've got all the cards, all the melee cards hitting behinds, and yeah, this could work fair. This was an Earth team, right? Would have worked great with Mylor back there. Although the armor actually helped quite a bit as well. But Look at that. Look at all that damage against Bakshira, and that's with the Deep Worker decreasing our melee damage by 1. So going up against that Bakshira up front and just doing a ton of damage, helping get the win. I love it. I love the Harvester. We slowly see the Earthquake wear it away. And oh, by the way, Dr. Blight back there is pretty good. That's a card you guys are probably more familiar with. Dr. Blight is certainly amazing. And then, you know what? I just had to show one other one because I know you guys are going to love this. You can run it with Llama. You don't quite have enough mana to do your Llama Pelacor, your Llama Flesh Golem. Guess what? Llama Harvester can work pretty well too. Just gonna one-shot everything. We talked about 12 damage. How about 18 melee damage? We're going up against, look, it's getting some poison damage in there. We've got all that thorns damage in there. Doesn't matter. It just one-shots everything. 18 damage to start it off. That was pretty nice. So yeah, you can say that I'm a fan of the Harvester. I don't think it's a meta card or anything like that, but I think it is a great weapon that I just don't see used very much. It's very underrated. I went through trying to, I know I use it some. I went through searching through like the top battles, searching on Splinterboard to try and find some top battles, and there just wasn't much up there to even show because very few people are actually running it. My own battle, my own subscription expired, so I didn't have I was gonna go back through and dig out my own battles because I use it on stream. We've been picking up some wins with the Harvester on stream. Didn't realize I let my subscription lapse, so it wasn't keeping track of my own battles. So I had to go find some others. I had to go back several months to find these battles, but I did eventually find some to show off. So it's pretty cool. Make sure you guys come join my streams, and maybe we can use the Harvester on my stream some more. You know I'm going to, because it's one of those cards that I break out. Definitely a decent amount. Again, you're not going to see me use it too many times, but 1 or 2 times a stream, I usually break out that Harvester. We do pretty well with it. So I want to know if you guys have battles of using the Harvester to pick up some wins. Link them down below. Show those off. I want to see them. I also want to know your opinions. Do you agree with me that the Harvester is a very underrated card? Do you like to use him? Or are you not on board? Do you prefer the Lycan Beast over Harvester? No, I don't think we'll get too many of that. And the Knockout's not a very popular card. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Glad we could take a break from some of the economy stuff and just talk gameplay. Because I do love the game, okay? I know I've gone on some rants lately, but I still do love playing the game, love streaming for you guys. So I've been with holidays and everything, I haven't been streaming too much, but we'll get back to it next week. I'm excited to get back to my own account. I've been playing on the Nifty Arcade account, so I haven't been playing on my own. I will be back playing Wild next season on my own main account up at Diamond Champion level. It's been a long time since I played Wild. I'm a little nervous about how I'm going to perform, but I'm very, very excited to get back to some of those cards that I have not gotten to play with for a while. So probably the most excited I've been to stream in a little bit, getting back to those cards. So I will see you guys on those streams. Thanks a ton. As always, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you next time.